In this video, I'm going to be diving into 5 quick SEO wins that can really help you elevate your organic presence and your SEO to new heights. So stick around. Hey guys, it's Tom here from Elevate Digital, and if it's your first time to the channel, thank you for being here. This channel is really all about helping you elevate your business to new heights using digital marketing. So for a lot of businesses, SEO can seem like an incredibly time-consuming, expensive or daunting task, but it doesn't have to be. And there are very often a lot of low-hanging fruits and quick wins that you can easily implement to really get significant traction with your SEO and start laying some really solid foundations. So the first thing we're going to dive into here is internal linking. Now, internal linking is an incredibly important part of your foundational SEO strategy. Now, in a nutshell, internal linking is just about making sure that different pages and resources on your website are linking into each other. So for example, on our website, we have different pages about multiple services we offer, everything from PPC management to SEO. And what we'll frequently do is when we publish blogs, we'll often link back to our services page. So that's classed as an internal link. But it's important you do this where it's contextually relevant. So as an example, if we were publishing a blog about SEO, we might have it linked back to our SEO page, which talks more about the SEO service we offer. And it's also important that these links are mixed up. And whilst you can have something linked by a button, that often doesn't carry as much link juice in Google's eyes as something like a native link within the text itself. And the best way that can be done is by hyperlinking a part of that text. Now, another important thing to consider here whilst you're doing this is the anchor text that you're using for that link. An anchor text in a nutshell is just whatever that text that is in front of the link is saying. And something that's quite important to Google is that you have diversity in your anchor text so it doesn't look spammy. So for us, for example, the way that might look is if we're sending a lot of links back to our main SEO page, we don't want to use that same word over and over again. So we might link SEO agency, SEO services, for example. So that shows some diversity in it. Now, if your website is built on WordPress, there is a brilliant plugin for this called Link Whisper, which effectively shows you all of the link opportunities on your website. And what it will do is it will actually scan your entire website for all of its content and even give you recommendations where it sees places where you could potentially have some quick wins and easy links in there. So this can be done in as little as 5 or 10 minutes. So it's a really great opportunity and something to dive into straight away and really take advantage of. And what internal linking does in a nutshell is that it makes it easier for Google's crawl bots to crawl through your website and to understand the content on there. Because if there are pages known as orphan pages, for example, where there's no pages that are linking to them, Google will often see this as a negative signal because it's making your pages harder to navigate for the user. And ultimately, most of the factors that Google consider when they're ranking websites come down to the user experience. So really trying to optimize for that and making your website as user-friendly and easy to navigate as possible is going to be a big thumbs up in Google's eyes. Now, the next quick win you can have for your business is by listing it in online directories. One of the main ones you'll want to check out is Google My Business. And ultimately what this is about is just getting your business details in as many places as possible and building up some more of that overall link structure. Now, one really important thing to consider here is making sure your business details are accurate across all places. And we've seen a few websites now that have actually been significantly penalized because of a tiny, a different spelling of a certain word in their address. And what that shows to Google is that the business presence is inconsistent, right? And if it's inconsistent, they deem it as not being trustworthy. So it's really important you make sure any listings you have of your business are accurate in multiple places, whether that be your Facebook page, whether you have a Yell account, a Google My Business account. Go into those and make sure that your details are accurate across all of those directories, because otherwise this could significantly harm your rankings. But when done right, directories can have a great impact on your SEO for relatively little work. Now, the next thing to come onto on your website itself is your title tags, your meta description, and your text formatting. So title tags are effectively what people will see when they type in a search into Google. It's that first line you'll see in big bold, and it's ultimately the description of that page. So you want to make sure that your title tag includes the keywords that you want to rank for. And sometimes if you're a local business, it's really important that you put your location in here. So let's say, for example, you're a plumber, you might want to say fast response plumbers in London. And just think about the kind of things that people might be searching for that are relevant to your business and that also make you searchable by location. Now in the meta description, you also want to include the target keyword that you want to be showing up for in Google, but you want to add a bit more context behind it, right? So this is the description. So you want to have some call to actions in there as well. So taking that plumber example, you might want to think about something like best plumber in London, thousands of 5-star reviews, book a free call now, 24 hours, rapid response. You want to think about those kind of high level things that people are going to want to look for, those trust signals that people would be looking for, whilst also targeting your primary keyword. Now the next thing is text formatting on your page, and specifically the formatting of the headers on your website. And you probably would have heard this referred to as H1 tags, H2 tags, or H1 headers. And in a nutshell, what this is, the best way to think about this is a H1 header is basically the primary header that you want Google to read on your website. So when Google's machine bots are crawling through your website and reading your content, they will read those headers in order of priority. So they might see the first header, again, if we go back to the plumber example, they want that first header on their website to be something ultra specific and relevant to their target keyword. And it's important to say here that you really only want to have one H1 header per page on your website, because otherwise it's going to confuse Google and send out multiple signals about what your primary service or primary keyword should be. Now H2 on the other hand can be used at multiple places on your website. So you still want it to be relevant to your target keyword, but maybe just think about some other variations here that you can incorporate while still making it sound natural and readable. You absolutely don't need to use all of the different header types available. H1 and H2 are the primary ones you'll want to utilize, but this is just a really quick win you can have on your website. Now, one of the most important parts of SEO is building up a solid amount of backlinks to your website. And backlinks is effectively when another website is linking back to your website. So they have a link on their site that links to your site. The reason this is so powerful is because Google sees this as a signal that your site is trustworthy because other sites are linking back to it. Now, this can typically be one of the most expensive and also time-consuming parts of an SEO campaign, because it can involve securing placements on high authority websites, which can actually cost a lot of money, or even just reaching out to bloggers and other websites manually to request links and doing things like guest blog posting, for example. However, there's some really quick wins that can be had here. And that's generally in thinking about things like what potential partners do you already use that you might be able to ask for a link back to your website. Another great little hack here is to think about some companies that you do business with, or some of your suppliers, maybe some tools or software that you use in your business, and asking if you can write a testimonial for them in exchange for a link back to your website. So think about some people you could easily reach out to in your network to get links back to your website. However, one little caveat here is that it's important to consider where these links are coming from. Something that Google's really prioritized recently over the past couple of years is how contextual these links are. So for example, if you're in the beauty industry and you're being linked to by a gambling website, that link isn't going to carry so much SEO weight. So as an example, a cosmetic company that's linking to a hairdresser, for example, they're more aligned and in the same space, and they're going to be sharing some keywords so Google can recognize that that is a contextual link. Now, the final tip is in creating content hubs on your website. Now, I know there's a lot of businesses out there who already have an amount of blogs or resources on your website. Now, one thing that can be incredibly powerful is by creating a structure for your blogs. So the best way to think about this is if you have one pillar piece of content. So using our blog as an example again, one of our primary services is PPC and paid advertising management. So as a result, we've created a pillar piece of content which is regularly updated called the Ultimate Guide to PPC. And this is an article that we put a lot of time into. We're constantly updating it. But what you then want to do is, once you've got your pillar content in whatever industry you might be in, whatever space you might be in, think about what you'll want that to be. You'll then want to create what are almost like satellite blogs to come out of that blog. So if you think about this as mini blogs that support the main article, so this might be like, for us, for example, it's branching off into some subtopics of PPC. So there's like YouTube ads, for example, Google ads, what are the difference between Google ads and Facebook ads, and some other common questions that people ask about that primary topic. What that does is, in Google's eyes, it feeds more authority into that main topic. So this isn't only going to help you to start ranking for more relevant keywords, but it's also going to boost the authority of that primary blog and start carrying more SEO weight for your site overall. So there you have it, guys. That's 5 quick wins to start taking your SEO to a new level. I really hope you found this video useful, and I know that if you start capitalizing on some of these quick wins, you can significantly impact your SEO and start ranking for more keywords organically. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it in the comments below, and if you got any value from it, be sure to give it a like and make sure you subscribe to the channel for more content like this. I'll speak to you guys soon.